What's going on, traders? Welcome back to another live stream. If you are new, my name is Zach. This is Real Deal Futures. Before we hop onto these charts, as always, make sure you read what's on the screen. Trading is risky. Most traders do lose money. I'm not a financial advisor. I do not provide financial advice. Nothing I say or do is suggestion or recommendation to do anything at all. Make sure you do your own research. Make your own trading decisions. Read CFTC Rule 4.41 on simulated trading, which is what this is. Even in prop firm accounts, and the affiliate and partnership disclaimer that says I stand to make money from links and codes in my content, like Top 1 Futures, code RDF, Bookmap, and others. Chat, how we doing this morning, guys? How we doing on this fine CPI morning? You guys full port CPI or what? Pull up this chart. I still have my zones marked up. I didn't touch this from yesterday. I made some reels about it. I want to show you guys how this played out. Talk about this one just a little bit before we get started today. But first, good morning, everybody. Good morning, Tom. Good morning, Funded. Sabam. Paul, what's up? Muhammad, what's up? Souls of Zero, what's up? Dwayne, Ezal, Dr. FP, Glenn B, Alan, Rhombus, Miguel, Fast Money Formula. What is happening, guys? How are we doing? How we doing? Slawfather on Kick, what's up? What's going on, guys? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Appreciate you guys tuning in. We're growing here every day across socials. It's crazy. You guys are crazy. I appreciate you being here. A-Deal King, what's up? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Let's get it. So, we had CPI. I got a couple things to talk about. Couple of pretty sweet things that we got going. Couple of not so sweet things that we got going. Ow. My hands hurt from rock climbing. First and foremost, yesterday, man. This is a tough break. Man. Before I mark up the zones 5 minutes into the open, like I did yesterday with you guys, this one was tough, guys. Tough. This was the 935-ish move right into this zone. And this is not to say, look at how good my zones work, right? This is to say, this is what happens if you don't execute. If you're not as aggressive as you possibly can be when you should be. Now, two things went into me not taking this entry right here, which would be the really clean mean reversion play. Selling off and then back to VWAP and then all the way back up to this zone, presenting a 500-point move to the upside, 500-plus point move to the upside, literally the low of day. Two things went into this. Number one, the data that I've been reviewing that says be cautious in between 9:30 and 9:45 a.m. My hit rate is significantly lower early in the session. That's just my data. I at some point will have to trust that data and back off like I did yesterday. Now, it's not a hard rule. I'll trade at 9:31 a.m., right? You know, if the setup's really clean. Why would I not get in here? I didn't really believe that this would be a very, very strong low, strong zone, strong area of interest. I was cautious of the low from the 6th and then down here from last Thursday, potentially being an area of support, an area that price might want to return to. I had only drawn this off of this area of high volume right in here in this price action market structure. Had I zoomed out, had I hopped out to the 1 hour, the 4 hour, I hopped out to the daily, but I just didn't pay attention to it. Had I zoomed out and recognized that this was a prior all-time high, a mid-December high that stayed protected for a long period of time, I probably would have had the confidence to potentially take an aggressive trade off of this one. Either way, no coulda, woulda, shoulda, just some review, right? I reviewed it yesterday with you guys. I wanted to review it today. I've had an interesting start to this year. So anyway, we're done. Let's go ahead and get rid of all of these real quick. We can redraw some zones. Some of them will probably be in a similar spot. That one can stay right there because that's exactly where I want the zone for today. We can draw our prior day's volume profile. But I've had an interesting start to the year, man. That at least trading futures here on the U.S. indices with you guys in the morning. A couple of L's that were really close to being clean wins. A couple of, look at how clean that one is. Actually ended up being yesterday's untested volume point of control, so I love that for an area of interest. A missed opportunity like that yesterday. A A long that was stopped by a few ticks before being a really nice win. And then just a 1 or 2 clean L's has generated not the start that I would have liked to see for this year. That's part of it, man. That's part of it. I try to minimize the execution errors, really, maximize what I can do day in and day out, and then just let the market play out for me. Yeah, man, I'm going to throw the zone exactly where I had it yesterday. If I'm going to throw one more down here, it would be... Here, let's actually get it from the right area. Ta-da. If I was going to throw a zone down below that, let's do some zone markup. I'm trying to get better at marking up zones every day. I get asked about it all the time. That's why I did it yesterday. It's good for going back to see how they were tested, how they were not tested, respected, not respected. To the upside, this is it. There ain't nothing above price, right? We're pushing all-time highs today coming into the day. Getting ready to open up in 60 seconds here. Man, do we just run? Do we pull back here and run? I'm not going to fade this all-time high. Would have paid right here. I'm not going to fade this move immediately, right? You could do it on a sweep of pre-market high, which is going to be right here. Let's throw in all-time high, pre-market Asia, London high right there. Yeah, we can throw some extra markup on YM today. Which is really the news candle. The news candle high and low. I don't want that there. I just want this here. Yeah, man. So just to frame this, what do I think up here, right? Decision-making time for the market. We've pulled back, consolidated. We're making higher lows into a resistance area. Do we want to just break and run? Do we want to sweep it a couple times, start to pull back down? Do we want to come back, retest, reload down here, right? Come back to this area of interest. I'd be a little bit surprised if we just continued to extend without some kind of a pullback, but I'm not going to be the bear here at all. I think bears have just absolutely been getting cooked across these U.S. indices. So for me, initially today, longs out of this area, longs out of prior day volume point of control. I'm going to say the 450s, like right down below this zone. Like into the low end of this zone is what I would be looking for potential longs. I think we could see something like this. I'm going to try not to pull the same move that I had yesterday, which was mark it out and then not trade it. I think we could potentially see something like this. If we are going to push to the upside today, I think a pull back down first makes sense, kind of like what we saw right in here. If we just start to break down here really aggressively, sure, we could turn this into a bearish day, right? What would be the bottom end of this range that we got going? This would be kind of range area number 1, range area number 2. This would be the middle ground of all this choppy daily price action that we've got back and forth up here after the really aggressive early push out of YM. ES and NQ being slower to follow that. Curious to see. Swept the highs. We come back down. Again, I'd be a little curious if we didn't, a little surprised if we didn't get some kind of a aggressive pullback at some point, but this might be all we needed to do, man. This might have been it, and this might have been it yesterday. Like, that's a bullish candle right there, man. Long wick to the downside, right? Sweeping below a whole bunch of daily candle closures, not lows. Closing all the way up near the high. Nice doji right before a takeoff. If we put, a really nice big bullish candle in here, would we be super surprised? No. Nope. I would not. But pretty tight range to start. Opening up pretty bullish looking at yesterday's range, right? We're opening up sweeping yesterday's high above value area high from yesterday. Untested volume point of control right in here. Bullish overall. But this is getting choppy here, guys. This is getting choppy, so, I start to zoom out and say, do I want to be long off the top of this really big daily candle range? Do I want to be long from the middle of it? Do I want to be shorting off the lows, right? Trying to sell a breakdown or anything like that? like I almost did right in here. Still, you know, really bullish higher time frames, but this is starting to get it to be a tricky trade. This was clean yesterday, and I'm really disappointed that I did not rack up a really nice win yesterday. But some of these are tricky in between here. So if we sell off, I'm curious to see what happens around the 49,500s here on YM. If we push to the upside, I'm curious to see if we get sellers at any point, or if we just start to chop around up here, right? We've had some big movement. We haven't had too much, like, very choppy NYSE sessions. I think we could start to see some of that as well now that we're past CPI. Taking a look at news real quick, just continuing the analysis, continuing the thought process coming into today. We are past our CPI here. PPI tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. Eastern. Unemployment is a big one on Thursday at 8:30 a.m. Handful of FOMC speakers talking this week, but that's pretty much it. And then, of course, Trump yapping whenever he decides to start yapping. Yeah, so frame and trade ideas. Yesterday's volume point of control. I'm interested to see what happens here. If we do that, if we don't want to just grind higher off the all-time highs. If we sell off, do we catch buyers? And yeah, if we start to come down, and I'm going to look long on this, guys, just to kind of frame this out, I'm going to wait a little bit. I'm going to wait for a crack down below this zone, probably into like the low 400s if I was going to look for a long. That would be closer to an average daily range based on what we've been seeing here. Be a little bit more comfortable taking a long off of that than just right in here really aggressively. So we start to come down probably into the mid to low 400s. I'll be waiting for an aggressive long. If we crack to the upside here, I don't know, man. I don't know. The mean reversion short play is above pre-market Asia, daily, current session, all of it above this high, but I don't know that I want to fade that, dude. I really don't know that I want to take shorts at all in this market. Anyway, that's the thought process coming into today. Frustrating start here on YM to the beginning of this year, but that's how it goes, man. Ebbs and flows, right? Sometimes we're going to take L's. Sometimes we're going to execute really poorly and miss really clean opportunities. Cry about it or just journal, review, talk about it. Be honest with yourself. Don't blame the market. Don't blame the broker. Don't blame the price action. Like social media, I don't know, dude. It never used to be like that. But social media, every time I hop on X or IG, it's everybody complaining. December price action's trash. This price action's trash. Everybody's getting killed. This price action's hard. Like, sure, sometimes we get a really choppy bad day, but not every damn day is not the reason, right? You know? Part of it, man. Anyway, let's see what we get here. Good morning, good morning. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Rhombus, you get success on CPI. Morning, Dwayne. No, I didn't trade it today. See you later, guys. Needs to pick up the kid for school. Have to teach him to start walking home alone. After all. All good, fast money. All good. Watching IM pull back to 49,674 to go long. Okay. You're looking for a long right below this Asia London low, news candle low. Very nice, Glenn B. If you're looking for stuff that's, tighter within this range, I think that's a pretty clean spot to do it. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. If you're looking to get aggressively long, this would be a very clean area, right? Yeah. That would be a pretty clean level right there. Right off of pre-market Asia London low. If we continue down below that, I think we're headed down here. This could give you a way to get long really aggressively. This is not my trade, just so you know, guys. This is, if we bounce here, it's not a, it's not a missed one for me. It's not something. If you want to get aggressively long, you say, hey, I'm right if we sweep Asia London low right here, and then we find buyers and we start to bounce back up. I'm wrong if we continue lower. I like that. I like that for a right or wrong situation, right? I like the upside opportunity just back towards the current candle high. But for me, that's not my trade. Just too aggressive. I think if you're going to trade that way, Here we go, breaking it right now. I think you want to be ready to take multiple losses. You probably want to be ready to be stopped out, price to dance around, wick around. I like to run a wider stop loss at a really clean invalidation level where, you know, like if I'm getting long in here, my stop loss is out here. I'm just absolutely wrong if we're blowing through, you know, my stop. But we'll see. We'll see. Guys talking about news trades. Yep. I know if I could do the news, I would need to work. Stats for trading every day. I got you. Well, I am going to 50K today. All right. Let's see it. A deal. 2 at the moment. Stacked pass. Nice. Rhombus gotten some evals. Yeah. The other thing that I'll say, guys. Is every few months, there's a wave of like newer, younger traders. They're usually like the 18-year-olds and that type of stuff that think they figured out the entire game. That if they just set a stop buy order above price and a stop sell order below price on a news candle and run the news bracket, you could pass all of your evals and get funded and make $10,000 on news. When I came over to the futures market years ago, I was actually like, I was watching people do it, and I was like, I know this didn't make any sense in Forex, but does it make sense here? Like, can this actually work? And I started to try it a couple times. You get cooked doing that. You get absolutely cooked doing that. I would be really cautious. That's not a cheat code. I wish it was. I wish it was as simple as that. Unfortunately, it's not. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I could send you some videos in the main Discord for me. But I appreciate you guys hopping on. Here's what I'm going to do. Today. Check this out. Chat. Here's what I'm going to do to keep this bad boy interesting. Because I see I'm creating a trend. Just like a trend in the market. I'm creating a trend on when all of my viewers show up. Check this out. Here's the Discord, link in chat if you're not already in there for some reason. Here it is again. The link to the giveaway for today's giveaway is getting posted in Discord right now. Literally right now. And it's going to be valid for 5 minutes in Discord. I'm running it early today, chat. Giveaway form is going to be in Discord right now. Guess what? It's for everybody that's here. Everybody that's here early. Welcome to the show. Not everybody is here at 11 a.m. We're going to run this one nice and early. So giveaway form is live in the Discord right now. It's going to be up until 9:45 a.m. Eastern in the Discord. I'm not going to run the duck races right away because it looks like I might have a trade coming up right now. We'll run the duck races a little bit later. But the giveaway form is going to be live early today. And this way, when everybody pulls up, because they got an alarm set that says join Zach's stream for 5 minutes at 10:45 a.m. Eastern to try to catch the giveaway form, they're SHIT out of luck. Shout out to you guys for being here early. Appreciate you. Guess what? There's only 29 people on the YouTube live stream right now. I got 6 on Kick, and I got 15 on X. If you're on X, hop in the 100% free trading Discord. I'll give you guys the link right now if you're not in there. Hang on one second. Shout out to you guys for being on here early. As we watch this market dip right down in here. This might be it. I think this might be it. Let's see. Damn, sorry. Twitter, you guys, I can't chat with you like directly or anything. I got to go physically to the stream myself. Here it is in case you guys want it. Here's my 100% free Discord. No course, no VIP. I'm partnered and affiliated with programs, but I don't sell anything directly. There you go. If you want to hop in the 100% free community, There it is. Trying to get it commented on the stream for you. Gosh, man, Twitter, why do you make it so hard? Stop complaining. There you go, boys and girls. There you go. All right, let's see what this market's got for us. Glenn B, we certainly took out your level down here. Right at the lows, we traded below. I don't know, man. This is feeling like grindy, like a little choppy up here. Like we might want to go and push the high. I can't get long in here with a stop loss right here. That's trash. I'm going to need yesterday's volume point of control for a long play. We are right at value area high from yesterday. I'm going to wait for... Ooh, we got some movement out of ES here. I'm going to wait for a little push further down for this one. More exaggerated movement out of YM here for a potential long. Like I said, really down below this zone, the mid 400s. Let's see. Let's see. Zach, I've seen people trade the orb consistently, and I always blow it. News, on the other hand, I almost always manage it well. Yeah, awesome, dude. Yeah, the orb, guys, the orb is great, right? But again, like everything else, these things kind of like come in waves. I don't know if you've been here for long enough. Like all of a sudden, everything's like the new best thing since sliced bread. Like the orb has always been around. It's been around for forever. It's nothing new at all. In isolation, it's not nearly enough, in my humble opinion. And people try to trade it in isolation like they figured something out. Like the 15-minute opening range, all you do is long above and short below. Holy shit. Like, try to do that and let me know how that works. Backtest that. Let me know how that works. But yeah, dude, Rhombus, if you got news on lock, man, trade it. There's guys on stream that are primarily news traders. They hardly trade outside of extremely high volatile times in the market. They're momentum traders. They either fade the movement, exhaustion style, right? And I've traded live with two of these guys that are really badass. Or they're momentum traders and they trade, with that direction. Pretty aggressive, high size. Usually it's a really high win rate, pretty gnarly risk. When they take a loss, it's usually really big and pretty outsized. But, there's really, nothing wrong with that. The reason so many newer traders get cooked is because it's faster. It's more volatile, right? Higher reward, but higher risk. And it requires more emotional discipline, right? More discipline on your trading system, your approach. And most newer traders don't have that. It's just too fast for them. They need to do the exact opposite. They need to really zoom out. So, but anyway, do whatever works for you. That's what I'm always going to say. Kobe Clark, good morning, brother. ES is chopping bad. Yeah, ES looking a little choppy. I'm watching this, guys. I'm watching this for an aggressive long here. If I'm going to get cooked, I want to get cooked long. ES is chopping bad, but it's down around VWAP. Looks like it's below VWAP with an increasing cumulative volume delta. YM did drop off here quite a bit. Ooh, we got a nice level here, guys. Nice level. Nice round psychological number here. Give me the zone. Give me the zone, man. Of course, what will happen today is I will now have gotten slapped in the face over here, taking a big punch, not taking my trade off of my zone, which I had here, and have it be cleanly respected. And then, of course, today we'll just rip right through my zone. Different zone, but, that's how it goes, right? That's fine. I'm cool with that. But like I said, I'm really looking, I said mid 400s. I'm looking for a crack down below this level. I could just look left and I could see, how that came into play multiple times down here. It would allow me to get a stop loss outside of this high volume node from all of this price action. Really be way down here. And I'm just wrong if we go and crack yesterday's low. We put a really big daily candle in here. The other reason for it, like I said earlier, is I'd be closer to an average daily candle low, like, closer to, not really, we still got room, but closer to that average daily range low. So let's see, as we're selling off pretty aggressively here. coming into it. Shout out volume profile. But yeah, guys, like this is a pretty decent sized area here. Really even into this area. So I'm going to be waiting for a deep push in if I'm going to be aggressive on the long, which I like to be, meaning I'm not going to wait for, for any kind of pushback out of this. If we start to aggressively run out of this zone, right? If we find buyers in here, we start to see volume come in really aggressively, I would look to take it to the upside. It would just be a different kind of an entry, right? It's either going to be as price is coming down, I'm buying into weakness. I'm probably going to take some heat with a wide stop. Not waiting for the thing to start to turn around, not waiting for a reversal, not waiting for confirmation, or I don't find that entry. I don't find that really aggressive entry into the 400s, the low 400s, and I take it on the way out, right? Worse entry, maybe a little bit more conservative. Stop loss is going to be tighter to current price action and market structure. Watching this in here, guys. Yep, not taking it just yet. If you're going to take something like this, here's the play right now, right? If you're going to take something like this is it, right? Like, we're going to reverse. Like, you're saying, okay, buyers are stepping in. We're not going to come lower anymore. There's your play, right? Really aggressively long in here. Measuring out where a stop loss is going to go, potentially at 200 points to the downside. Finding some buyers off of this low here, guys. We're liking this 49,500s. We took this out, right? This was our area of quite a bit of orders sitting there. I'm going to wait for a little bit further of a push into this zone. Like I said, I really wanted it to be down in here, right? But this is a high volume node getting tapped. If we don't come through really aggressively, which we haven't yet, I like this for a long play. Checking what we got ES doing over here, retesting the 7,000 evens. Getting ready to send this one, guys. Getting ready to send this one long. I'm taking this one, guys. Not going to hesitate today. I'm taking this one long. I am long from 507. Long from 507. Simple level-to-level trade. Area of interest to area of interest. Trying to flow with this higher time frame price action market structure to the upside. Clean retest of prior day's volume point of control. Again, like I talked about, this is a little bit less aggressive, like taking it all the way as far down as we're pushing, and waiting for just a little bit of hesitation. If you drop to like a super low time frame, you can start to see, right? You know, we're falling. We got buyers stepping in, right? We got buyers at least trying to step in. We got some back and forth, you know, low time frame candles. So I'm going to run this one long. Stop is at 49,310. Still working with that right around 200 point stop loss. I find that that's just been solid with this price action and structure, the volatility that we're seeing. Go ahead and get rid of this. Going to be looking for that move back towards VWAP, back towards this area of high volume right here. Do we get it today? I don't know. We're fixing to find out. But that's my play. Long, 9:53 a.m. Also not super duper close to the open. I do like that. It is a reversion style play, right? We've broken above prior day high and sold off. We didn't do too much before we sold off, so it is still that you know, near the open style play. I really don't want to be short this market at all. I don't like to get too one-sided, but if this is not an indication for me to stop trying to take shorts, and my win rate being, I think like 30 or 40% higher on the long side versus the short side, I'm doing my best to just really not look for shorts as best I can. I'm wrong if we sell off. I'm wrong if we're just going to chop back and forth up here. I'm wrong if we come back down towards yesterday's low, if we just form this big outside push to the downside and crack the low. I'm right if we pull back up, trade through VWAP. So that's going to be my trade for today, guys. That's going to be my trade so far. Oh, I got to shut this form off. Damn, I left it open too long. Anyway, congrats to everybody that got the giveaway form filled out. All 54 of you. Shout out to you guys that were hopping on early. I'm going to try to reward those that are hopping on early and not just everybody that hops on late. So get ready for everybody to ask where the form is later on. But appreciate you guys for filling it out. We'll run the duck race a little bit later. We will see how our initial balance sets up here in about 30 minutes. Our IB high and IB low. That'll be coming up pretty soon. Shout out Edgeful. If you guys want to check out Edgeful, now that I'm in a trade, I can throw this one up. 7-day free trial to Edgeful with the link that's in the chat right now. Edgeful is a data provider. It's really sweet in my humble biased opinion because I am partnered and affiliated with Edgeful and I cannot be unbiased. But I've been talking about it a lot, and I'm going to talk about them more. I think it could be extremely helpful to get some of this information. I really love that you could try stuff for free. I know most of you guys love free stuff. You could try it for an entire week. You could get all of the data, not to encourage you not to take the subscription, but you could get all of the data. You could collect like a ton of data and then, you know, work with that for a month or two and then come back and decide if it's something you actually want to pay for. But just to talk about what Edgeful is, this is Edgeful's platform right here. They have a ton of statistics around different market movements, different markets, different price action, market structure, opening ranges. The one that I continually talk about, the one that a lot of traders talk about, is the initial balance. The initial balance on YM is the first 1 hour opening range, which we are going to come up to pretty soon, right? We're going to have a high and low for 9:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. Eastern. And from that high and low, we can tell with a really nice statistic behind it, if we break one side, what happens next? Do we typically come back down and break the other side? Do we typically extend? Do we typically retrace? Based on which side is formed first and second, we could tell which side is more likely to break first and then set that whole combination of stats into play. But they got a ton of stuff. If you guys want to check them out, link is in the chat. Again, I keep my stuff stupidly simple. People can see Edgeful and Bookmap and go, what are you talking about keeping it simple, man? This stuff looks so complicated. I trade stupidly simple. Areas of interest to areas of interest on the 15-minute chart zoomed out. Maybe one trade a day, right? That seems to work for me. I don't know. I'm in a prop firm live account that I've been in for going on 4 months, in 11 payouts. That's the most recent, wins I could talk about. This type of stuff can be helpful building that intuition, building that discretion, and building confidence in stuff that makes sense. Even if you're not going to use something in your strategy, maybe you trade ICT, maybe you trade 47 other different combinations of order flow or supply and demand or, auction theory or fundamentals. Having a statistic, right? Understanding the facts around certain times in the market, days, weeks, seasonality is on here, right? Average daily and session ranges can be really helpful. And it can at least give you context to say, I know what I'm trading for. I know what I'm trading for or against, with or against. One that really stood out to me that I was not aware of, like you might say, yeah, I know about initial balance, Zach. I know about that type of stuff. Can I search it? Yeah, dude, power hour breakout. I talk about this one a lot. Power hour. If you're trading the last hour of the day, as so many of us do, and I was trading on Top Step TV power hour for a long period of time, there is a strong statistic around whether or not a new high of day or new low of day is made in power hour, right? Based on historical price action market structure. A lot feeds into this, right? Is there news that day? What's happening for power hour? Is Trump talking? All these things you need to take into context. But objectively, I got to recognize that if I'm short the market going into the close, we haven't made a new low of day. There's, 1 hour left in the trading day. Over the last 6 months of data, 85% of the time, we have not made a new low of day. You might say, that's great, Zach. 6 months is not enough. Show me 2 years. 83% of the days over the last 2 years. Objective. Not my opinion, not some secret special thing. And you can see this in backtesting. We haven't put a new low of day in the last hour. So if I'm taking a trade, right, at 3:30 p.m. For a break of the low of day, it begs the question what the hell I'm doing, right? It begs the question, I'm trading for something that's only happened, 16% of the days. So, things like that, even if you're not going to build something around it, to trade against it, to trade with it, they can at least give you a little bit of reference around, different market movements. So I hope, that stuff can be helpful for guys that are interested. Again, Edgeful, if you want to check it out, link in chat as this trade continues to push lower. We got a little bit of a bounce there and a push lower. Link is in chat to check it out. Shout out Edgeful. I love the free trial stuff, man. We started to bounce here. Obviously a nice area of interest, right? At very least, here's what I tell myself and what I like to pay attention to. I don't love, like, for example, like getting short in something like this, right? Like if I got short here and there was like not even an attempt at buyers or sellers, there wasn't even at least a little bit of balancing, at least a little bit more price action and market structure that gets put in, that tells me that area, sure, it could just be disrespected today. That area was probably not a key decision-making point, right? At least over here, I have no idea. Could be going to be right or wrong, one or the other, right? We could break and run to the downside. We could break and push to the upside. But at very least, when I see a fight being put up, when I watch volume being traded at a level, and an attempt to find resistance or support, buyers attempting to bring this thing, or a bounce and then a failure that I hold on to that just continues lower, I at least know that my zone was drawn in the right spot. I at least know that I had a reason to get in there, right? That it didn't work today, but at very least, that zone was valid, for lack of a better term, because that's all subjective. Would I like to see every single one work out like this yesterday, where we just test right to the bottom of it and then we run 600 points? Sure, of course, right? But even in here where I had this one yesterday, where yesterday's volume profile was, we could see how there was a fight put in right there, right? It was VWAP at the time, but we had some sellers try to defend this level, right? It took, it took an hour to get through this. Right? If I'm like short here and we just rip right through and, split second, no volume traded, it kind of begs the question, what was I doing there? Maybe I reassess that area. For this trade so far, man, I'm okay with the push down. I'm okay with the low 400s. Didn't catch the bounce out of this area just yet. I'm okay with this. The further we go, the less confidence I'm going to have in this one. But again, I'm fine getting long on this. I don't want to take another L. If I have to take one, I will take one on the chin. We could start to chop up here, but I'm happy to at least attempt to align myself with that higher time frame movement in the market. To the upside, buy a dip right off of yesterday's untested volume point of control, a key high volume area, right? If I look at visible range volume profile, actually overlapping, we got another volume point of control back here. I'm happy to try it there. You know, I wouldn't be long down here after the market sells off, you know, 700, 600, 700 points. That to me is not the movement that I would say, hey, we're going to do this, right? Could that happen? Sure. You know, absolutely. But that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for this, right? I think at that point, we'd be putting a really gnarly bearish candle in, and it'd be a far cry or a Trump tweet away from coming back up. So here's my play. But like I said, under 30 minutes, we're going to get IB high and low. We'll see what that looks like. Maybe we can get the failed auction, get that movement to the downside and come right back in. But let's see. Chat, what's up? We'll do Tom Ward, Edgeful Disco. We talked about that. Good morning. I'm reading my own comments. Morning, Dr. AK. What's up? Of course, Zach. Thanks, Zach. We're on opposite sides. I took the orb on MYM. Nice. Yeah, you guys were talking about the orb. Edgeful for the orb as well. If you want stats around 15-minute opening range breakout, you can take a look at that. Why do you choose YM instead of NQ or ES? Just preference. I think it comes from trading it first. I think it comes from being born and raised on US 30 for the US indices at least. But in general, if I had to claim downsides for the other two, NQ is super aggressive, super volatile. I find it to be one of the most difficult instruments to trade out of anything you could pick, just by way of that fast, wicky volatility. ES is definitely like a mini NQ. It's like a slower moving, watching paint dry NASDAQ, which I do like. But I don't know that it fits my style of trading or as much as I would like it to. You know, I think it trends very tightly. You can join trends and, you know, hang on to them with pretty tight stops pretty nicely. But, you know, as a whole, I just find that YM pays me the best. I find that YM just seems to do the best for me. It is the one that I have the best results on really across the board. So for those reasons, I am on YM. Again, nothing better than the other. Sorry, I'm just checking a couple messages, so I know you guys see me looking down. Nothing better than the other. You know, no one that's going to be the end all be all in my humble opinion. You just gotta find what works for you. You know, you gotta find what fits your system, your approach best, and that comes from experimenting and finding what you don't like. But I would encourage everybody to do that. Really encourage everybody to do that. Oh my gosh, man, we're cooking in the swing account. Somewhat. I got one or two that aren't too hot today. What is exploding though? But yeah, that's the deal on that. Let's see. Hey, how you doing? What's up, FreezeX? Love Futures. What's up? What's going on, guys? Welcome to the show. Appreciate you hopping on. I trade for the 15-minute orb, wait for a break and candle closure on the 5-minute, and then break and retest in the 1 minute. Cool. Paul, careful on Project X. Oh God. Saw AWS is out again. X is down. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Yeah, if you guys don't know, Project X as a whole has been melting down. Some of that was due to the AWS stuff originally, but I have very little faith in this platform. I will be off it soon. We'll be on Tradeovate, NinjaTrader, TradingView. Yeah, that's what we'll be doing. Morning, y'all. Nate, what's up? Red to green for me today. 511 times 5 XFA. Should have had more profit. Second guessed myself on the short. Closed it. And then I had to re-enter. Frustrated with my execution. Yeah, welcome to the club, man. Over half a decade in. Tons of profit made. Prop firm payouts. Live account payouts. I still have days like yesterday where I'm like, damn, son. It's part of it. Part of it, right? Professional athletes, you're gonna have, you're gonna have the day where you drop the ball. You're gonna have tons of them. You're gonna have a ton of missed shots. Let me say that. You're not gonna, not gonna hit it every time. Try to minimize them. Right? Here's the guy to learn from the orb. Nate Weather usually seems to close out green. Nice. I have no problems with Project X today. Yeah, PJX working for me today so far. But yeah, guys, we're talking about the orb. I'm gonna come back to Edgeful on it because since you guys are talking about it, so here's what I would do, right? Backtest the orb, right? Backtest the 15-minute opening range breakout. I'm assuming you guys trade NQ, like almost everybody trades NQ. You can pull data, let's say for a year, on orb, right? The 15-minute opening range breakout. And if it loads, Edgeful. What this is measuring is here's your 15-minute opening range, right? Here's your break of the high. Here's your break of the low. At least as a start, what happens more often than not, right? What happens more often than not? You know that there's not a really strong stat that we just break in one direction and run without breaking both sides, because half of the time on NQ at least, we're breaking both sides of that 15-minute opening range. I think if you combined this with a bunch of these little sub-reports and then back-tested it yourself, you might find some significance around the 15-minute opening range. I think that's why it's so popular and so many traders do trade it. It kind of like gets them past having to trade in the first 5 minutes, which in itself I think is an important part. But for me, it's just really not enough. I don't trade it myself. I will say on ES, and this was a stat from Edgeful for a while, on ES for a while, like a year and a half ago, there was this really choppy movement that was happening. Really choppy movement that was happening where with a really high percent, we were breaking both sides of the 15-minute opening range, and it presented a really clean opportunity to trade from one side on a failed breakout back down to the other side. Kind of like that failed auction setup that comes in with the initial balance. So I was exploiting that for a while, but it started to fade. So, but you guys decide for yourself. Right? You decide, what makes sense for you. YM continuing to push lower here after finding buyers, not able to hold this area, trading towards the low 400s now. ES kind of doing the same, just slowly drifting lower. But yeah, you guys decide that stuff for yourself, right? Again, I think what happens, and I know I'm a brokered record with this, what happens is traders want to know the strategy. They want to know the approach because they think if I just figure out what they're doing physically, what tool they're using, I can replicate their results, right? And it's not enough. The orb is not enough. The 15-minute opening range breakout, it's not enough, right? You're going to have to build experience. You're going to have to build discretion around it. Almost every single person that is trading the 15-minute opening range, they don't have a mechanical system around it. If they did, they would just make a bot or an EA, right? They would just let it run, let it rip. Why don't they do that? It requires discretion and intuition around it. So like you see on my chart, all the tools, I have them there, and then I layer in my experience, right? My subjective interpretation of those tools. And that's what I find that most guys are doing with something like a 15-minute, opening range breakout, right? If it was as simple as wait for a break, a candle closure, or whatever it is, a close above, a close below, and a long, we'd all be rich, right? Unfortunately, it's just not that simple. So, decide for yourself what you find to play out more often than not, what you have confidence in, what fits your style and approach, and then try to build around that. So there's nothing wrong with the opening range, right? And I use an opening range myself. It's just the 1 hour opening range, right? I find that fits better with the time frames that I'm trading. I find it fits better with the movement that I can see around it. It fits better with the statistic around it, right? But you decide for yourself. Yep, got to have some narrative on the idea, for sure. No, we use discretion, can't use a bot. Preach, baby, preach. Yep. Yeah, might have a trade today. Just the 1 hour opening range is a breakout. Yeah. People trading happy too. Yeah. Yeah. These have been around for forever. Just so you know, guys, these are nothing new. These have been around for decades and decades. Like opening ranges is nothing new. It is not a new thing that newer people are doing. Same with most of the indicators that you see on my chart. VWAP is nothing new. Volume weighted average price. Volume profiles and trading those, nothing new there at all. But what I think is really important to understand is there is a key piece to what we're doing here. You need an edge in the market. You need something from a technical or fundamental standpoint that's going to allow you a way to structure risk and combine a average risk to reward, an average win and loss, and an average hit rate that creates a positive expectancy, right? But a big piece of that, a big way that that's done, in my humble opinion, and just what I've watched from every other trader and what I do myself, is through discretion, right? I do not know. I started to be timid with this, but I'm not going to be, man. I don't know a single mechanical strategy, 100% objective, meaning there is zero discretion and it can be coded into a bot, an algorithm that runs at the retail level that performs and continues to perform over a long sample size and create a positive expectancy. It just does not exist, right? If it did, we would all use it. There are, not at the retail level, tons of algorithms that run and do create positive expectancies, obviously, right? But through my experience, through watching it myself, and actually through conversations sitting at Forex.com's in-person, whatever they called their higher tier client when I was trading Forex with them. I had a decent amount of money with them. I got invited to some of those. But PhD software developers and traders that develop bots and EAs and algorithms, explanation, right? That even the stuff, the extremely small percent at the retail level that they operate with that does work, it needs constant adjustment, constant tinkering, constant monitoring. It is not passive. It's not set it and forget it. And there is a ton of dynamic adjustments that they have to build in for things like volatility, news, different times of the year. So for all of those reasons, a long time ago, and it has helped me, abandon this belief that all I need to do is X, Y, Z. 50-minute opening range, short above, long below, stop loss 1.5 times the ATR, take profit at 1-to-1, half out, take profit. I wish it was that easy, guys. I wish it was that easy. It's just not out there, in my humble, biased opinion. So, think about that, right? Think about that. You could disagree with me, but I would encourage you to try to prove me wrong. Try to prove me wrong on that. I don't want to be right. And for years, I was searching for exactly that. But, it's just not out there, right? Which is why when you see people selling a bot or an algo, right, or algo traders at the retail level, I hate to say it, it's a bunch of bullshit. It's just it's a bunch of bullshit. That's what that is. If it worked, I promise you I would not be here right now. I promise you. I have the funds. I have the money. Even if they were available at the level of multiple 5 figures, I probably wouldn't be here right now. That's why you see majority of retail and even professional traders that are at trading desks applying discretion. The algorithmic guys, right? The super badass mechanical algorithmic stuff at the very high level, it's absolutely out there. It's not there for me and you on Instagram to subscribe to for $29.99 somebody's bot, right? use your brain when it comes to that stuff, guys. I encourage you to use your brain when it comes to that. I didn't for a long time, but I think it could be helpful. And then also understand what that means for you trying to create a 100% objective strategy. It's probably not going to work out too well. So if you're not going to create a 100% objective strategy, what does that mean? You're going to use your discretion, right? Here's the path. Okay, I got to use my discretion. Wow, I have to use my subjective interpretation. I can't be a machine. I can't operate like a machine. Where am I going to use my discretion? How much discretion? Where am I going to allow for that subjective interpretation and that intuition to come in? And where am I not going to allow for it, right? And then track your data. Where is it helping me? Where is it hurting me? Where do I need to be more mechanical, more systematic? Where can I allow for more discretion, right? So I think that stuff is super important. That was a big turning point for me in my career. It can be confusing. It can be frustrating. It can be, counter to a lot of the stuff that you hear. But recognize that even if somebody is here's my model, here's my system. Awesome, dude. It's not coded into a bot or an EA. You're not going to have the same results as that person. You're never going to have the same results as that person. That's not you. You have to build discretion. You have to build intuition. You have to build experience in the charts. Watching this trade continue lower. I'm watching ES push lower here, over here on the left-hand side on the declining cumulative volume delta. I think we either hold here or we quickly rip through yesterday's low to the downside. Last chance here on YM to hold this up. We got NQ headed towards lows of the session, just to take a look at these across the board with you. ES on the 15-minute, right? We're at a pretty key level here, pretty key area of interest. We either are going to hold here, find buyers, or we're ripping through down here. This is pretty similar across all of these. NQ's got the messiest profile over here. I think we could easily tap this level on NQ. So this might not be a make or break. But back here on YM, when I'm trading, we either find buyers here, or I think we're coming all the way through to trade all the way back down towards like the 200s. So a little bit more patience, a little bit more aggressive entry right into the low 400s would have presented a better risk structure for this trade, a better entry, but I'm okay with my entry. Still think I'm either going to be right or wrong on this trade, which I like. I don't like to be wrong but too early, wrong but too aggressive, right? So let's see. Lost that little bounce. Wasn't giving it room. Keeping my Green Day positive. My positive Green Day. Nice. Great. But yeah, remember, no advice, no financial advice. I'm just an idiot. I think Nick Sean's ability to trade small dollar cost average and swing trade is the real juice. Yeah, for sure. If you want to learn about using extreme discretion and doing the opposite of what everybody else does, he's a great resource for that. One of the big things that initially enticed me with him and his strategy was the hedging he was doing in the Forex market. And I just really could never wrap my head around that. Adding to losing trades and then creating positions where you would essentially hedge and then lock out. And I also couldn't do it with live brokers, so it wasn't something I could really do. But I couldn't wrap my head around it. Just too dumb for it, I think. But applying discretion, right? Applying discretion. And it could be confusing because I had somebody on here that used to be on all the time but ended up spiraling, who was a big Tom Hogarth fan. And I'm a huge Tom Hogarth fan. And I've been in Tom Hogarth's live trading room a ton. I used to watch him every morning. I've read everything that he's put out in detail. All of the strategies themselves, right? The school run strategy, the advanced school run strategy, right? All of these. And if you want to learn from Tom Hogarth, I think he's off right now and he's got somebody else running it while he's dealing with some health issues or something. But he's the guy who wrote Best Loser Wins, if you don't know. Absolute legend. What a lot of people complain about and what I complained about initially in my mind was I understand the strategy. I understand the approach. He's making a shitload of money. This dude's putting up multiple six figures a year. I can't understand why he's doing what he's doing. He doesn't seem to be trading the strategy that he talks about. Why did he not take this entry? Why did he take this entry more aggressively? Why did he close this trade? Why did he hold on to this trade? Why did he go stop loss to break even? And I wasn't accepting that, even though he is very systematic and he is utilizing a pretty clear-cut approach. there's a ton of discretion behind that systematic approach, right? There's a ton of intuition as to exactly when you're going to hit the buy and sell button, and exactly when you're going to take profit, and exactly when you're going to go stop loss to break even. And plot twist, he's extremely good at that because he's been trading for like 30 years, right? You know, he's been doing it literally his entire life, you know, on the same instruments. So, you know, that part, I think, is a big realization in all traders' journeys, right? And, you know, it's important to understand when you're watching someone like me, when you're watching like someone like anybody else, and I try to differentiate. I even try to differentiate like the things on my chart, the tools that I use that are objective or discretionary, subjective. Is it 100% rules-based? Is it market-generated information? It's not my opinion. You could find it every single day the exact way. Or is there something that I'm doing that you cannot physically do because it is not clearly defined by market-generated information? And almost all of what everybody actually does as far as retail manual traders applies discretion, intuition, right? Subjectivity to what's going on, which is okay, but it's important to recognize that. Really important to recognize that. So, which is where some of the edge comes from, right? You know. So anyway, I hope that helps. I know that was a little bit of a rant there, but man, that took me down a long, frustrating road for a long time. I think the worst part is not strategy, discretion, but psychology. The kind of idea, that idea of holding long enough is truly key. For sure. Yeah. It's going to be different for everybody. Got to have some narrative on the idea. Yeah, we were talking about orb. Yeah, for me, trading is about taking a concept, testing yourself, and seeing what works for you and improve your edge every day. Yeah. Good morning. ES has 10 straight red candles. Going to rebound. The rebound going to come probably after IB, 5-minute candles. Maybe. We're getting ready to set IB high and low here. I don't like the way that this is looking, obviously, right? I'd love to see it back all the way up towards the highs. We're not there. But yeah, talking about discretion, talking about, you know, discretionary versus objective, right? What that means. We don't have the IB low set yet, but I'll move that over here. But at its core, and obviously the stuff that I primarily talk about, the hard part is not, in my humble opinion, the hard part's not technical analysis. It's not risk management. It's not, you know, creating a bias in the market and, you know, trading in a way that makes sense or finding something that will create, you know, somewhat of a positive expectancy. It's not something you could do extremely quickly. You need experience. But that's not the hard part. That's not the part that differentiates you from the traders that are making a lot of money. It's the way they think about trading and how that thinking influences their actions, right? It's so insanely powerful, and it just cannot be overstated. This is all psychology, guys. What we do here is stupidly simple, incredibly simple, in my humble opinion. The guys that are making big money, most of them that I see, they're not super smart guys. Not that they're dumb, but they're not. They're average intelligence at best. Some of them are seemingly just not the smartest guys in the book. But you know that should be a good indication. It's not IQ. It's the way you're thinking about trading. It's your mindset. It's your emotional control. You know, it's your disposition to risk, and then you know how you work with that. So remember that. But so many guys stay stuck on the strategy piece, so I think it's important to talk about and lay out, you know, some of my opinions there. Just my opinions, chat. Just my humble, biased opinions. And what do I know? I'm just an idiot here yapping on YouTube, kicking X for entertainment purposes only. If you're new, welcome. See, we've got a bunch of people hopping on. Welcome to the show. I'm here live almost every day, 9:15 a.m. Eastern on YouTube, Kickin' X. 100% free. Free live trading. No course, no VIP, no mentorship. None of that stuff, man. Happy to show you what real trading looks like for me. The good, the bad. Whoa. Didn't mean to punch my camera. The good, the bad. Everything in between. If you make the wrong move, I'ma stop you well. Let's see. IB getting ready to set here, 10:30 a.m. Sorry, I'm gonna stop being so twitchy and smashing all of my controls here. Trump talking at 2 p.m. today, due to speak at the Detroit Economic Club. That sounds like a nightmare. Yeah, I'd be cautious around 2 p.m. I was just looking later into the day because if I don't get cooked on this one really quickly, which it looks like I might, later into today could be pretty gnarly with him talking. He's also posting on Truth Social to keep protesting. Help is on the way at Iran. That could be dicey. Big surprise. More volatility from the U.S. administration. Let's see, man. But yeah, I'd like to turn this bad boy over and start catching some nice wins in this Top 1 Futures pre-live account. If you guys don't know, that's what I'm trading here from Top 1 Futures. You get moved to a live account, a pre-live account, whatever, from a prop firm after you've hit a bunch of qualifications, whatever it is. It's a combination that's discretionary in itself. But I've been in this one since October, like October 4th or 8th, 7th or 8th, whatever, some beginning of October. It's been pretty sweet. No crazy run out, no crazy run up, nothing insane, no massive payouts, but a lot of consistency. Been able to take, for a long stretch there, for like 8 or 9 weeks in a row, I was taking a payout every single week with multiple payouts sometimes in the same week, totaling just under a dozen payouts from the same account. Happy to have held on to it for a couple months. My goals here with this one are to first get back to a really nice spot with it because I've taken a couple L's here, and then start to scale. I'll probably forego taking payouts or maybe even big payouts. Maybe I'll just take some small stuff and try to scale it up. That's what I would like to do if I don't obviously run it into the ground, which I always like to talk about even from the beginning. Got a move coming to Tradeovate and TradingView. That's going to be interesting to deal with, but I'd like to be able to start to put some more profit in this and then maybe get the ability from them to widen out risk parameters, trade larger size, trade with a wider stop loss limit, all of those things. Wider daily loss limit, wider max loss limit, all that fun stuff. So that's my game plan here. On my trading outside, I set a really big goal to focus more on my live account swing trading. Not so much on my live account day trading, because I'm doing that here with you guys, but live account swing trading. It plays to my strengths. It plays to my life and the way that I want to continue to progress as a trader, to be able to spend more time with family, to pursue, outside hobbies. And it's also, just in my opinion, the most scalable way to trade for me. Part of that is becoming much more proficient in options trading, just utilizing those financial instruments, because I find it to be a very good way to be able to utilize leverage and just fit well with the swing style trading that I do. That's been really good. It's been really fun to get rolling in that. I'm doing that every single day. Was posting a little bit about it yesterday. Again, I'm definitely not the options vet. I'd say I'm certainly a swing trading vet at this point, but I might start talking more about that. Might start talking more about live account swing trading stuff. But yeah, that's pretty much what I'm looking at this year. My goals will be to hold on to this bad boy, make some damn money, take some damn payouts, scale it up. More so starting to scale than to take a bunch of payouts. And in live accounts, I'm keeping risk pretty conservative so I can make my mistakes, jack up anything that I'm going to jack up early on, and then really start to become more aggressive in the live account swing trading. Both on the U.S. indices, right? Both on the U.S. indices and in the just general stock market. But looking to make it a banner year. That's always the goal, right? The goal is always to make it a banner year. It's not always a banner year, meaning better or bigger than whatever you did the year before. But sometimes there's some shifting, and for me, there's some shifting. Changes with prop firms, changes with the opportunities that I see with prop firms, and changes to how and where I'm spending my time, I think are important. So, a big portion of my day now is working on swing trading options in a live account, and managing, just individual, positions. Starting to find some buyers here after setting this IB low. Can we come back up, Chatty McChat? Chat is the question here. If we do sweep this low, do we find buyers here, get a little bit of a failed auction, and come back up? Come all the way back up here. We're fixing to find out. But if you guys got trading questions, feel free to ask in the chat. I will have a bunch of traders coming on later this week. I'll give you guys that are on here the insight. I was going to get some graphics rolling, but I'm waiting for my editor to get back to me. I have Decipher the Algo. Christian coming on tomorrow. I have a trader that you guys have not seen on my show yet. Jesper coming on. He's one of ASFX Austin Silver's guys on Thursday. And then on Friday, tentative, like I've been hinting at, we may be getting the CEO, founder of Top 1 Futures, Top 1 Trader Clay, and or some additional Top 1 Futures reps on the stream. I thought it was really cool. I'm really excited that they are willing to come on a bunch of different traders' live streams. Not just run their own live stream, but literally come on, my live stream and talk to you guys, answer questions, take feedback. We were literally like doing polls last time, and then of course give away a bunch of accounts last time. Not that we're gonna do that. Not we're gonna do what we did last time, but last time we gave away 11 50K instant funded accounts. We ran 15-second giveaways back to back to back to back to back. So probably not gonna want to miss the live stream Friday. I don't know exactly what we're gonna do, but the rest of the week we got guests coming on to trade live with me. Different strategies, different approaches. Really exciting to get more and more people on. That's something that I've wanted to do for this year for my live stream. I love watching live streams where there's multiple traders. I love watching different people's perspectives. I like watching people fade each other. I like watching people trade different instruments, different, strategies and indicators, and have so many different ways to make money that I'm going to try to bring that to you guys. So I have traders coming on every single week this month, all the way through January. So I'm hyped to bring that to you guys. Multiple people every month. Multiple people every week, excuse me. So tomorrow, Christian Williams, just AKA Decipher the Algo. Thursday, trying to make sure I say his name correctly. Jesper. Thursday, Jesper from AKA Trader Dwayne. I'm going to mess this up. Trader Dane, AKA Trader Dane. And then Friday, Clay Hodges, hopefully. And or some other guys from Top 1 Futures. It'll be fun. Let's see, man. Let's see. Run it back through. Bulls can't be stopped, guys. They just can't. They're not gonna stop here, guys. I don't know. Listen. I'll get cooked on longs, right? I'll take my losses. I'll take them. I will. But I gotta say, you can go on YouTube. The last video that I posted, if you're on YouTube, if you're not on YouTube, I did a performance review specifically for this account from the time I had it all the way up to the end of the year. There's a reason that my win rate has been so much lower on shorts than it has been on longs. And I don't know when I'm going to actually just become a long-only trader in the U.S. indices. It would probably pay me better. But, you'll certainly take L's, right? You'll certainly take L's in here, in here, in here. But for the most part, if you're short in this market every day, it's going to be a tough road for you. It's going to be a really tough road for you, man. Even as we look more zoomed out on the 15-minute, this thing has just continued to find strength and push to the upside. Definitely getting choppy up here, like I said. Definitely getting pretty back and forth up here. But we're going to see if we can't run back up towards the 750s. Run back through VWAP and higher. On this trade specifically, now that we are finally finding some buyers out of this zone, VWAP's going to be a problem. These pre-market lows are going to be a problem. VWAP is definitely going to be a problem. This is something I'm going to hold. I've also shown and talked a lot about my data supporting me holding my trades longer. This is something I'm going to hold for at least, I'm going to say at least a move all the way back up towards, this area of high volume in here, these 750s, this price action market structure, maybe the 30s, 40s, the low end of this, but it would be a break back through VWAP. So, got a little bit of volume in here. This is going to be dicey right here if we just get the pop. But I'm going to have to start holding my trades. Going to have to start holding my trades longer. So let's see what the market's got for us. Ooh, I had something else I wanted to talk to you guys. We talked about Edgeful. We showed the platform. We talked about that. I had something else that I want to talk to you guys about because they're running a gnarly discount. I don't talk about these guys so much, although I am partnered and affiliated because I just am not doing a lot of copy trading myself, being in a live account and focusing on a singular live account. But this is definitely something that's really important, and I've had a lot of people start asking me about this. If you are going to trade on TradingView after Project X goes away, which if you don't know, Project X is going away at all firms except for Top Step. Everybody will be on Tradeovate, NinjaTrader, TradingView, and maybe something else. You can copy trade in Tradeovate directly. You can copy trade in NinjaTrader. You can't copy trade from TradingView across multiple prop firm accounts or even across multiple firms. What you can use to do that is TradeSyncer. I have to make sure I confirm this. You can use TradeSyncer to get this done. It's a third-party trade copier, a cloud-based trade copier. They are running until tomorrow, which is the reason that I'm yapping about it right now. 44% off. It's usually 10% off. That's all they've run. I think this is better than their Christmas and New Year's deal. Code RDF44 gets it done. There it is. Code RDF44, not just RDF. RDF44 gets it done if you go for the yearly. RDF30 for the monthly. But again, they are a cloud-based trade copier. They're their own platform and dashboard. You plug in all your prop firm accounts. You're able to copy trade across not only multiple prop firm accounts, but multiple prop firms if you wanted to. This, again, I think is really relevant, not only because it's on sale and they got a hell of a deal, because a lot of traders want to trade from TradingView. And this, if I start to copy trade, right, if I get kicked out of this live account, or maybe just copy trading on the back end, this is what I will be using to trade from TradingView. Now, one big important disclaimer outside of me being partnered and affiliated and standing to make money and not being able to be unbiased. This is the best option in my humble opinion. But one really important disclaimer. Copy trading in itself is inherently risky. Use your brain as to why that is. Copy trading using third-party copiers and trading from different platforms is inherently more risky. So anything you use, like TradeSyncer, all of the other ones that are out there, and even logging into TradingView to trade off of a Tradeovate prop account or NinjaTrader or any of these things, it's inherently more risky than trading directly from the one singular platform that account is on. Obvious upside potential, right? We understand the ability to leverage copy trading, right? To make that small payout times 5, times 10, times 20, times 100. All of that fun stuff. You might just want to copy trade a couple accounts and do that from TradingView. This is the way to do that, but do recognize that there's an additional layer of risk that you add. If something goes wrong anywhere now across multiple different platforms, you are potentially, up the creek without a river, for lack of a better term. So important to note that. So all trade copiers carry that risk. Trade copying in general carries that risk even within the platform itself, but certainly trade copying with third-party trade copiers or logging into different platforms and copy trading across them. But, you guys do what you think is the best for you. For me, looking at other trade copiers, nobody's even remotely close. The other stuff that's out there is just an absolute nightmare. Obviously biased to say that. For me, it worked really, really, really smoothly when I was testing it using Tradeovate accounts. Again, haven't been using it a lot myself recently. What I like most about them is being cloud-based. It's super fast, but even more so, they have a dashboard talking about trying to manage this inherent additional layer of risk. They have a dashboard where you can run a window on your right-hand side of your screen, whatever it is. You're copy trading. You got all your accounts linked. You can glance as soon as you get in to see and make sure you're entered correctly with all of the orders across all of your accounts. And if you're not, you're able to hit cancel all, flatten all. You're also, once you're out maybe of the main trade and it's copy traded across all those accounts, you're able to hit cancel all, flatten all across all of those separately, just as a fail safe, so there's no ghost orders or fills, you know, unexpected when you're sleeping, that type of stuff. So anyway, if you guys have questions on that, feel free to ask. I figured I would talk about it today. Again, I don't typically talk about it because I'm not copy trading a lot myself right now. I like to talk about the shit that I'm using right here, right now with you guys. That just makes sense. But gnarly discount. Code RDF for 44% off. It's the best that I've seen for a year. 30, code RDF 30 if you want to go monthly with it. You could check that out. Oof. What do we see here? Showed us 500 some odd bucks worth of profit on this one. Not enough. Not enough, chat. Not enough. Throw it in. Kick for you guys as well. But yeah, that's how you would copy trade from TradingView across multiple prop firm accounts. Why am I getting messages? All right, chat. We ran the giveaway form early today. We have 54 peeps in this giveaway form. If you don't know, if you missed it, we did it early today. Chatty McChat. We have 54 people on the live stream now. Well, actually, we got way more than that now. But I see a lot of people hopping on all the way at the end of the live stream, hopping on at the same time every day. I'm going to try to wean you guys off of doing that. And/or just support everybody that hops on super early. Appreciate everybody being on for the whole thing. Thanks for being here. Going to get ready to run a duck race. This is going to be for an instant funded 50K. If you missed it, hop in Discord because I'm also posting the link in Discord every damn day. So just in case you missed it, the link is in Discord. It is closed. You don't have to tell me that it's closed now. I know that it's closed. We did it very early at 9:45 a.m. Here is the link to the 100% free trading community and the spot to get a giveaway form and all the links and sauce and ask me questions, whatever you want, man. You can do whatever we want. We have some fun in there. All right, let's get ready to run it. Nice session so far. Yo, I'm back, ladies. What's up? Yeah, I appreciate it. We'll see what we can do here, man. I would have loved to see the really aggressive bounce out of this area. We didn't really get that. We didn't really get the aggressive bounce here. We're trying. I could see the potential, come through the IB low and just drift lower, close this out as a really gnarly bearish day. I like the way the levels held so far. That's a nice daily candle low right there that held. We'll see. We shall see. I'm not looking for a home run. I'm not looking for anything crazy. I'm certainly looking for holding my trades longer for a more positive average win to average loss. So looking into the low 700s, low to mid 700s for a take profit. That's what I'd be looking at. But for now, we are going to get somebody funded. Chatty McChat. Let's get ready to run it. Let's get ready to run the ducks. Be right back, guys. I'm getting this ready right now. I'll be right back. Hang tight. We're going to let Chair trade. Go ahead and run it, Chair. 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 What did you do, bro? Chair is working for the market makers. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Close test to VWAP here, man. It's gonna be a dicey one, guys. This gonna be a dicey one. All right. We ain't gonna worry about that, though. Back to break even, man. Back down towards the lows. Yeah, this one's gonna be interesting, guys. This one's gonna be interesting. I really am not gonna like this if we come back down through the low. I really won't like it, I gotta say. If we come back down through this IV low after a retest and a failure, maybe we get that, you know, chop down around here, fail it, and come back up. But I would really need to see buyers start to step in here for a chance to run back down towards, right back up towards these highs. Otherwise, it's going to look dicey. But we're still alive. And in the meantime, we're going to run the giveaway. This is for an Ignite 50K instant funded account. Remember, guys, if you missed it today because you hopped on here late, and you always hop on here late, and I'm always running at the same time, I'm going to keep you on your toes. We're going to run them early. We're going to run them late. We're going to run them in the middle. I'm going to try to give it to everybody. I know, I'm sure some people have schedules where they can only join for the first 10 or 15 minutes, and some people that can only join for the first, last 10 or 15 minutes. I'm not going anywhere after this one, but I want to run it. You guys have been cool. Probably going to hang out for a little bit longer, see if this trade starts to play out, since I'm going to hold on to it. We'll talk about anything you guys want to talk about. We'll yap about trading. I got some time today, so we'll hang on the live stream for a bit. We'll make it a longer one, maybe. I'll make some mate, some yerba mate. Get jacked up. This is the key. You want to know the real key? There's two keys to my trading, two secrets. One, no partnership, sponsorship, or affiliation. Yerba mate. I don't even know if that's how you say it. I'm pretty sure that's how you say it. Number two, also no partnership, sponsorship, affiliation. They sent me some stuff to try out. I really do like it, and I've been drinking it almost every day. Edge Sups. One of the guys that I know that is a trader has come up with a trader-focused supplement brand. These are the two that I really like. Obviously, as an endurance athlete and an athlete in general, I love a good caffeine supplement, and I love something with electrolytes in it. HydroFlow and Focus Fuel. Taste really good. High-quality stuff. Edge Subs, if you want to check those guys out. Again, I could say that unbiasedly because I'm not partnered and affiliated with them. I don't stand to make any money from it. Check it out. Don't check it out. Do whatever you want to do. But I do love some caffeine. Try not to overdo it, but... Let's go, number one duck. Always love the longer streams. Nice. Who's behind Edge? Still boy, let's try. Aaron. What is his last name? Hold on one second. Aaron Luce, aka Aaron Trades. He is the guy who runs the Asia session for Top Step TV. Super duper legit trader. If you don't know him, feel free to Google him. But he is the man, along with another, I think, partner or two that he's got behind that brand. But is a supplement, a trader-focused supplement brand. The actual link, which I'll throw in chat for you guys. I have to actually just look it up. What is the link to this? Nice. There you go, guys. If you want to check it out, here is the link across all of them. Again, not my partner, not my affiliate. They sent me some stuff to try out to get some feedback on early on, I think before they were launching, and it's dope. It's good stuff. But yeah, Aaron is behind that. Aaron Trades. Good stuff. 2 minutes to go on the clock. Let's see. I missed it too. That's okay. I'll win tomorrow. All good, guys. All good. We ran it early today. Let's see. I'm sure I missed some stuff. Volume, you guys should be able to hear me. Form, yep. Talked about it. Hit IB chair. You guys are funny. Zach, I know you run. Do you swim too? Yes, I do swim, Rhombus. I've done one. I think the longest triathlon that I've done is an Olympic distance triathlon. But I suck at swimming, dude. When I did that triathlon about a year ago, I was in the top 15% for bike across all age groups and all classes. I was in the bottom 15% for swimming. Like, my entire group was gone. The lifeguards were like watching to make sure I didn't drown. And then I was right down the middle for the run. So yeah, dude, I run quite a bit. I've cycled a lot in my past. I've got a motocross and BMX background, so that comes really natural to me. And just being an endurance athlete, that's good. Swimming, whew, my gosh, dude, that one was tough. Really tough. It looked so easy, and I had swam in the pool a couple times. Man, if you try to do a distance swim, especially like in open water, oof, tough stuff, dude. Great activity though. Great workout. Highly recommended. Very low impact, but I am not a good swimmer. And I've surfed before. Like, I've been swimming all my life. Like, competitively wise, nah. Like, for endurance sports, I thought I would be fine. I was way too confident with that one. Halfway through, I was like, bro, I might actually die here. I might drown on the first event, like, right off the bat. I might need help. Crazy. Let's see. 5 seconds to go. Tight pack into the finish line. Remember, guys, I'm not going anywhere. We're chilling. We're going to watch. I got a trade running. Juliet. I don't know where the first name starts. Is it Julie? Maybe it's just Julie that run this one. W's in the chat. Let's see who we got going here. Hang on. Juliet N in the chat. I think this is a Discord OG. Remember, guys, I know a lot of people hop off because I end the stream. I'm not ending the stream today. I'm going to hang out. I got a trade running. We're going to make $1 bazillion today. But first, Juliet in chat. Whoa. Not what I wanted to do. All right, Duck. We got it. Juliet. Nice. All right, we got W in the chat for Juliet. You are the winner of a 50K instant funded account from Top 1 Futures. Shout out to Top 1 Futures. Like I said, if you want to talk directly to the CEO founder, one of the CEOs, founders, co-CEOs, co-founders, I don't want to get these guys' names wrong, their titles wrong, but if you want to talk to the decision maker behind one of the largest and fastest growing prop firms in the space, he'll be on stream on Friday. We'll also be giving out a ton of these accounts. So hop on. Would appreciate you guys hopping on, sharing your input, sharing what you like, what you don't like. I think all that stuff is helpful. If you want to check out Top 1 Futures, you didn't win today, code RDF gets you the best deal, 40% off right now. Lowest cost instant funded accounts in the industry. Link is in the chat if you want to check those guys out. Again, this is who I'm trading with right now. This is a Top 1 Futures account. This is a pre-live account. I think it's one of the best opportunities, the fastest path to get moved to a live account. If you actually want to learn how to trade, you don't want to just try to, play games and, work yourself towards a payout, which there's not anything super inherently wrong with doing that outside of you don't develop any actual trading skill. Top 1 Futures is an excellent opportunity for that. So that's the plug. Shout out to Julie for winning today. And yeah, guys, not going anywhere just yet. I'm going to hang out with you. We'll talk trading. We'll yap. I got some time. We'll continue on. Great firm and great streamer. What a combo. I appreciate you, Rhombus. W's in the chat. Congrats. Yeah, nice. What's up, Alan? Juliet, there we are. What's happening? Thanks, Zach. Absolutely. Happy you got the win on this one. You will get an email from Top 1 Futures straight to your email. I've got to get on my contact because I've had like 1 or 2 people over the last couple weeks tell me that they didn't get their account as quick as they should have. But I will make sure everybody gets their account, as always, man. We definitely don't play that game. We don't play the game where we give away accounts and we don't give them out to the people. We don't do that here. Let's see. Interesting here, chat. Very interesting. Nice reading some comments from the Discord. I'll go back through. If you guys got questions, trading questions, man, I'm gonna hang out with you for a little bit. We'll run a longer stream today. I'll chill for a little while. I got to trade on. We'll watch it be a winner or a loser for if I get stopped out or hit a take profit. But other than that, man, let me know if you guys have trading questions. I'm going to scroll the Discord, which I haven't been yapping enough in recently. Let's see. Busy, my kid not feeling well. Jess, sorry the kid is not feeling well. Muhammad, yes. Congratulations, Juliet. Kevin, gold orb fade A1 short with exit number 2 for a 17-point winner. Beautiful. I'm not going to put anybody's stuff on the live stream that doesn't allow me to do that. I wouldn't last anybody like that, but Kevin P with a really clean short. Very nice. Very nice. Again, if you guys want to hop in the Discord, you can hop in the Discord. Sometimes I do what I'm doing right now, which is read the chat from in there. Yeah, we were talking about CPI this morning. Not a really eventful CPI. Let's see what else I might have missed. Had somebody in here talking about using VWAPs on the extended time frame chart. Extending trading hours chart, I'm guessing, to be more aware of the bigger trend and be able to take more low risk, high probability trades. Nice. Very nice. Oh, year-to-date VWAP, current week VWAP, previous week VWAP they use on ES. Very clean. Yeah, anchored VWAPs can be really sweet. If you want to learn about anchored VWAPs, you want to learn about VWAP, come to Tampa. We got the godfather of anchored VWAP coming out to Tampa, Brian Shannon. It's going to be awesome. Dwayne, flat day in the XFA. A little bit of review from yesterday. Awesome, man. Awesome. Taking some nice trades off of New York VWAP. A lot of these guys are anchoring VWAPs to New York session. If you don't know what I'm talking about here, we could do it on ES while we're hanging out, watching this market not do anything, right? This is session VWAP, volume weighted average price. Session VWAP resets at the start of the session, 1800 hours here, Eastern time, 6 p.m. Eastern time. You can also use the drawing tool under, is it projection? Under volume based. Anchored VWAP is the exact same thing. You just get to anchor it to whatever time you want. So a lot of traders will anchor it to, for example, NYSE Open right here, which we are testing right now on ES. Maybe they're going to get short off of NYSE Open anchored VWAP. Maybe you're going to anchor it to an important news candle. Maybe you're going to anchor it to, a key high or a low, right? What this can do is act as a dynamic support and resistance area. It can act as an indication of who's in control, buyers or sellers. You can see what happens if I anchor it right to the time that session VWAP is anchored. It overlays it exactly. A start of year anchored VWAP, that's an interesting one. But maybe you anchor down here, right, off of the low, and you go, I know that off of this anchor point, buyers are in control without debate above this level, right? These guys are in the money up here, and that acts as a higher time frame, dynamic support and resistance level. Yeah, that would actually be your start of the year anchored VWAP right there that we are not testing. Got to scroll out. It's all the way down here. Yeah, anchored VWAP can be really helpful if you want to learn about anchored VWAP. I always try to tell you guys who I would go to or not go to, right? I think the ASFX team for VWAP in general can be very, very helpful. They trade it primarily, right? It's like, a foundation of their trading approach, their system. If you want to learn about anchored VWAP, Brian Shannon. Brian Shannon is also known as the godfather of anchored VWAP. He talks about it extensively. He has an entire book on anchored VWAP. If you want to learn more about volume weighted average price, especially anchored volume weighted average price, how to use it, what it means, I think that's the key. But it's sweet because Brian Shannon is going to be out at Tampa, which is sick. Super excited about that. Y'all have a great day. I'll be in tomorrow, I believe, the whole session. Nice. Take it easy, Nate. Who's in the chat is going to Tampa? Yeah, Nate, we got, I won't dox everybody, but we have you and 2 others from my community going out to Tampa. I think they have 70 tickets sold for the Tampa event. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I will be in Tampa, Florida for the 2-day in-person event with ASFX. It's called the Tampa Boot Camp. Let me see if I can pull up the flyers. I was there last year as a guest speaker. I'm there again this year as a guest speaker. Super psyched to get invited back, but here are the guys that are going out there. Obviously, Austin Silver and his team, and then a handful of other traders. Oh, here's the banner with Brian Shannon. Really cool, man. So I'm psyched on this one. Live trading, 2 full days. If you're interested, links, in my chat, links in the bio, links everywhere. You can check it out. Hit me up with any questions if you're interested in this one. 2 days in person, live trading for the morning for NYSE Open. Obviously, you get a panel of traders, discussion on strategies, approaches, mindset, trading with props, trading with live accounts. There's so many different types of traders here that I think you get such a nice wide spectrum. And not only that, there's representatives from prop firms, there's representatives from software companies that are going to be out at the event, which is another really cool thing to do. I don't know any other place that you can get in front of multiple different CEOs and representatives from different trading companies. Like, I'm talking the biggest ones in the spaces. Really, really cool. Outside of that, we have a ton of fun, man. It's obviously a good time. Go and have some fun. All the money that we make, we go and lose at the casino. No, I'm just kidding. I will do that, but you guys don't do that. Gonna put a clinic on at the Hard Rock there. Exactly what not to do. Let's see. Take it easy. So yeah, Nate, I'm not gonna dox anybody, but hopefully they talk. We got a couple people coming from my community. Maybe some more. We'll see. Honestly, I thought, and I said it multiple times, I thought it would sell out immediately after Brian Shannon get it announced. It's still not sold out, so you guys still have some time. It sold out really quick last year, and I had a handful of people hit me up that wanted to come, and I was kind of disappointed. But they keep it somewhat small, like under 100 peeps. This way, it's not just this, huge overrun, thing. It's pretty close knit, but it's cool. Zach, don't kill me. Lost internet when you talked about swimming. Could you quickly sum it up? Yeah, here's the summary. Here's the summary of swimming. I suck at swimming. For those of you that don't know, I've ran marathons. I ran Boston this past year. Boston. Chicago. I would love to have run Boston. I ran Chicago last year. My bad. Let me not get out of my lane. I've ran multiple ultra marathons. We were talking about endurance sports. Somehow got onto swimming. I suck at swimming. I'm a much better runner and cyclist than I am swimmer. It's a difficult discipline for sure. And doing an open water swim is pretty wild. I did an Olympic triathlon at the Miami Zoo. The zoo in Miami like a year ago or 2 years ago. I can't remember exactly what it was. And what I was saying was I was in the top percentiles for cycling. I was in the bottom percentiles for swimming. And I was somewhere in the middle ground for running, which is about where I thought I would be. But the swim was significantly harder than I thought. Inside the Miami Zoo, which is a weird spot to do it, but it was actually really cool to run through it. They have a huge body of water, huge lake or whatever it is, and it was a big loop to come back through. And I thought that wouldn't be a problem for me. I have a lot of confidence and belief in myself. I think I'm a pretty good athlete. Holy shit, guys. I was gassed swimming. I thought, all I was thinking in there was, yo, if this was open water in the ocean and it was like an out and back, as a lot of those are, because, you know, my wife's done the half Ironmans and stuff. If that was an open water swim, like out in the ocean down here, and it was a choppy day, I'd be cooked. I probably would be getting saved by a lifeguard. But yeah, dude, that was tough. That was really tough. So, but what do you expect, right? You know, I don't swim. I don't swim all the time. You never see me post a picture about swimming. I'm not swimming. I'm not gonna be really good at swimming, right? You know, that's part of it. So it was that was pretty gnarly. Zach, YM took a big bounce off of CPI VWAP. There you go. Nice. So yeah, Rhombus, that's what I had going on. We were talking about endurance sports. Zach, YM took a big bounce off of CPI VWAP. Oh, sorry. Idiot. I can recommend Brian Shannon's book. Awesome. Dope. How long you'll hold the trade for if it continues to consolidate your entry? Probably all day. Probably all day. I don't, Miguel, right? I don't find my data shows that going to break even helps me. I don't find that closing my trades for partial losses helps me. I don't find that doing anything outside of closing for profit or taking a full stop loss is a correct movement. So we talked a lot about applying discretion, right? Applying intuition, where we allow for doing different things. For me, my data screams at me, don't go stop loss to break even. It screams at me, don't close for partial loss. Don't close around break even, right? The only thing that I'll say when I would close for consolidation around break even or whatever is into the close, right? Because this is intraday trading here. I'm starting at NYSE session open. I've got to be out before 4 p.m. Eastern, right, at session close. We have MOC every day, market on close orders at 3:50 p.m. That traditionally pumps in some volatility. I try to make a smart decision if the trade's not working out into the afternoon. So by, let's say, 2-3 hours go by, right? If this thing's still consolidating here, I have to ask myself, I still might like this trade. I still might think YM is going to come up here or come down here. But is that going to happen now in the next hour, in the next, half hour if I'm right into the close, in the next couple hours, right? If the answer is no, then I'm going to adjust, right? I'll close the trade out. But for the most part, I don't put a trade on, and then 30 minutes later, it didn't go right away. I close the trade out. That's just not how I trade. For the most part, you're going to see I'm on the 15-minute chart. I'm holding for larger, movements, a couple 100-point movements traditionally. I don't get in and out of trades like that they don't seem to help me. But, the biggest standout point, let me see if I can open this. Hang on 1 second. You can go watch the, I'd have to pull it up. Hang on 1 second, guys. I'll pull it up. I'll pull the stat. Because you don't get this from Project X. You don't get this unless you physically break this stuff out manually yourself or you journal yourself. But I'm going to pull up the stat around my trades where I've managed before I take profit or a stop loss, right? So let's see if I can get to it. So I took from the first 3 months of trading this account, right? First 3 months of trading this account, I've taken 16 break-even trades. And what I broke out as a break-even trade was below $150 of profit or loss. I think I had one trade that was just over $100 that I classified as a break-even. Outside of that, most of them were like, $12, $20. What I found from that was after looking at those break-even trades, those 16 break-even trades, without getting too specific, significantly more of them would have been winners, either moderate to large winners, than the ones that would have continued to stop loss. There were both. It wasn't that every single one of those 16 trades would have been a win. There were certainly multiple that continued to a full stop out. But of those 16, more often than not, more than 50% would have continued in my direction. And a chunk of those, small chunk of those, would have been large winners. So for me, that stat shows me I'm hurting my P&L more than helping it. It might feel good to do that, to take risk off, to go stop loss to break even. But for the way that I trade, the entry style, how long I hold, all of the combinations to, what I do here, break even trades, going stop loss to break even does not help me. And I can't differentiate, at least I'm not able to yet, how to better use my intuition on when to go stop loss to break even or not, right? Because I was doing that, right, for the first 3 months of this account. Within reason, I thought I was doing it less than I was. 16 was a big number for me. But obviously, using my discretion, yes, I save some full stop outs, but I also kill full stop outs. I also kill full take profits. Nice winning trades. The other piece to that, which I think is different and unique to me, I'm typically taking one larger size trade a day, something that I'm going to hold all damn day. If I stop myself out at break even, I'm probably not getting another entry. So that stat might not play as poorly to somebody who says, yeah, I take 6 trades a day. And I'm okay taking stop outs for break even because I keep re-entering the trades over and over and over again, right? So that's going to be different for everybody. But important for me to note that. Out of the small losses, right, or doing anything with stop loss, that never seems to help me. Closing for a loss just never seems to help me. It's not something I have a stat on specifically in this account. As far as where to close my trades, I traditionally close them too quickly. In this account, my data showed that. I had a sub 1R average win to average loss. Not good. I had a very high win rate. Good, really good to have an over 70% win rate. But for me, I know, number one, my edge is there, but I'm skewing it. I'm skewing it too much by clipping my winning trades too early, generating too small of losses, and not realizing the larger wins. But two, in general, also, I will create a larger expectancy, a larger expected value of my trades, profit factor, everything, realizing slightly more full stop outs and slightly larger, less frequent wins. That is just the nature of my trading. So all of that can be done through review from looking at, your own trading. It's going to be different for everybody, but a big surprise, like for the most part, stop loss to break even is not helping many traders. You're closing your trades too early. You're getting cooked on shorts, right? I think that's important to note. So I hope that answers the question as to what I will do and why I do what I do. Not only what I'll do, but why I'll do what I'll do. And important to note that, right? I don't know if this trade is going to consolidate here, right? I don't know if it's going to go back down. I don't have enough data and confidence, and my results show that when a trade starts to consolidate for 30 minutes, closing it is a better option than just holding on to it. It doesn't to me show that my win rate would be higher doing that. My risk to reward would be higher doing that. My overall equity curve would help me. My data shows, for the way that I trade YM, wait patiently for that setup to come. Once it's there, use your discretion on when you're actually going to enter that damn trade. Wide stop loss, better than a tight stop loss. Let that bad boy run. Let it run all the way to a stop loss, or let it run to preferably a positive 1R. I do find that even though I don't hold my trades as long as I would like to, on the discretionary close on the trade, not running a fixed take profit, that works better for me. That tends to work better for me. Anytime I set a fixed take profit, I have a fixed level where I'm going to get out of the trade in profit. I tend to do one of two things, which is cap my upside and not catch the day where we really push, and or hold indefinitely to an arbitrary take profit level that I put on my chart. Meanwhile, we might be 5 or 10 points, before that, or 20 points before that, and have now multiple things that have developed in the market where it's screaming at me to get out of the trade and profit and just take the win. And then I don't do that, right? So for me, discretionary closes in profit seem to help. Discretionary closes for loss don't seem to help me. I've done it a lot in the past. I've closed a lot of trades that just don't seem to be working. You can, cut down on your average losing trade size doing that. But similar to the break even, I stop out a lot of trades that would have been winners. And for me, I hold the damn trade. Just hold it all damn day. That's what seems to work best. Nate, I'm a blackjack guy. Time to just pass this game. Yeah, I'll play like a little bit of roulette if I go to the casino. First off, let me preface this. The casino is a money-losing entertainment machine. I hope you guys all know that. At the casino, outside of like poker, high-level poker, for the most part, in every single game, there is an edge that's present against you. In blackjack, in roulette, in baccarat, and all the games that I like to play and have fun with, you're going to lose. If you stay there long enough, you're going to lose. The edge is there in the casino's favor. If you play long enough, you are the market and they are the trader, right? And you are going to lose if that trader can execute enough, of their iterations of the game. But for me, yeah, one of those three. One of those three. But appreciate you guys hanging out with me, man. We still got a bunch of people on. If you guys got trading questions, feel free to ask away in the chat. Watching this trade consolidate, chop around this level. We tried to bounce here. We got a little wedgie McWedge forming. I think we're likely to see some volatility out of this level. I would love to see it to the upside. It does look like we kind of got similar action out of ES, testing VWAP. That sucks, but we got a nice positive cumulative volume delta here. Taking a look at NQ. Not that I trade these in correlation. Trying to come back through VWAP. Yeah, the sellers really didn't rip it lower. Really didn't rip our faces off through initial balance. Failed auction here on NQ. Coming back through, not able to close below. Not the same on ES. And as we can see, not the same on YM just yet. So we'll see. We shall see. But yeah, you guys seem tired in the chat. I'll wrap it up here. I'm gonna let this trade run for take profits. I'm looking towards the 700s. I said this multiple times. This area of high volume, prior volume points of control, the low end of this zone. If I was gonna be marking something for a potential take profit, that's probably what I would be looking at up here, right into this area, mid to low 700s, back above VWAP, back towards this area of high volume. I'd probably be a little bit conservative and look for it low here. That would generate a nice W. Nice W if we can get it. We'll see what we get, chat. I'll try to call it out in the... I'll try to call out management in... Hey, you know what? Let's do this. Let's set a take profit for now. Hang on before I go. And then if I do something before that take profit, I'll call it out. Yeah, let's go for the 50s. Yeah, let's go right into the 50s. Let's go to the top end of this area of consolidation. If I do anything before the take profit or stop loss, I will do my best to call it out in Discord. If you're not in the free Discord, feel free to hop in. Link is pinned to the top of the chat. Again, like I said, I'd probably be taking profit into the low 700s, so I fully expect to get out before that take profit. But just in case we rock it or we do something crazy, and this way you guys have a potential take profit area. If you're following along, watching this, or you're watching in the future, you could kind of go back and see what happened. You could always hop in Discord, of course. I'll let you know what happened as well. Maybe we pop up here, I take profit, and then we dump because Trump starts talking. I'd be cautious coming into 2 p.m. We do have Trump talking at 2 p.m. Nah, you know what, man? I'm not going to run this. I'm sorry, guys. I don't want to do it. I'm not going to run it. I hate fixed take profits. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to run it. I'm going to be setting some alerts up here. If we run up here, I'm probably close into the low 700s, just in case we get a rocket ship to the upside and I want to hold on to it. I'm not going to run the fixed take profit. That's where I'm potentially looking. I'll call it out in Discord around the exit. I always try to do that for the live account. Almost everything that I've taken, 99%, has been on the live streams and or called out in the free Discord. So hop in the free Discord. Stop loss is at 49,310. Entry from 49.07. Long 1YM. Quick disclaimer, guys. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't provide financial advice. Nothing I say or do is suggestion or recommendation to do anything at all. Make sure you do your own research. Make your own trading decisions. Read CFTC Rule 4.41 on simulated trading, which is what this is, even if funded prop from accounts. And the affiliate partnership disclaimer. This is I say to make money for links and codes in my content, like Top 1 Futures, code RDF, Bookmap, and others. Rocket ship, Brian. We are ripping through this bad boy. 1,000 points. We're going to trade towards the 50,000s up here. Now we'll see. I'm not sure. Giveaway time. We already ran the giveaway. You're late to the show. Hop on earlier. Where's Wolf? He needs to tweak the algo. Yeah. Wolf's been back and forth. Appreciate you guys for hopping on. We'll see what we get here. Talk to you guys soon. Thanks for being here. I will see you live tomorrow.